in 2023, the NFL saw that a lot of the injuries were happening with kickoff returns. And so they decided to kind of limit that a little bit more by changing some of the rules. And also they saw that a lot of returners who were doing a lot of touchbacks and not returning the ball, which means they're actually running down the field after they catch it, that makes it a little bit less exciting to watch. I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting to watch before the game actually starts. So there will be a kicker on the 35-yard line. He's the one on, let's say, Team A, who's going to be kicking it off to Team B, so that way we can see where they're going to be starting their play. The object of this is to kick it as far as they can, so that way the other team, Team B, can start as far away as possible from the end zone. There's a few rules involved when it comes to these returns. The kicker, who is a part of Team A, will also have 10 members of their own team, so still Team A, and they're going to be lining up on the receiving team's 40-yard line. So it's going to be that 40-yard line right there. And then 9 members from Team B is going to be on the 30-yard line. So just like right behind Team A. So everybody's going to be on this side except for that kicker who's going to be on the other side. Hope that makes sense. Now, we're starting to kick off. The play is going to begin when the ball is caught or hits the ground in that landing zone, which we talked about, that shaded blue, or is returned from the end zone. What does that mean? Any ball that lands in the landing zone has to be returned. So that means that the kick receiver, who's going to be on Team B, will have to catch the ball and go ahead and start running if it lands in that sweet spot, that blue landing zone right there. Now, if it lands in the landing zone but then bounces over to the end zone, which is the red touchdown area, then it has to either be returned or they can grab it and take a kneel, which is called a touchback. And that basically means that they don't want to run into any traffic. And if they do a touchback, that's going to go ahead and start them at the 20-yard line, which is right there in the beginning of that landing zone start. After the ball is kicked and it fails to reach that 20-yard line, which is the landing zone, Team B can go ahead and start at the 40-yard line. Of course, the goal is to keep it in that landing zone. If the ball gets kicked and just enters straight into the end zone, just all the way up in the air, doesn't bounce or anything, it just goes straight to the end zone, the kick returner can catch the ball and go ahead and start running, or they can catch the ball, depending if it bounced off the landing zone to the end zone. If they see it's a lot of traffic, they can go ahead and do another touchback and say, I'm not going to run this one, I'm just going to go ahead and start. But this time they're going to start the 30-yard line. So the other one was a 20-yard line, this one's a 30-yard line. And if the ball goes out of bounds, then Team B, which is the receiving team, can start at the 40-yard line, which is not what Team A would want because that's getting them a little bit closer to the end zone. Trust me, guys, it took me about 5 times watching different videos or reading different instructions to get a full understanding of these rules, and I feel like I had to watch it play out in order for it to click. So definitely watch the video again. It clicks for you. Also, watching the game itself can definitely tell you a lot about what's going on. Follow for more sports information, storyline, and let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to cover.